Hi my lovelies, welcome to another analysis video. Today I want to look at two versions of Adele singing Someone Like You live. One version was in 2011 and one version was from this year to 2020. And there are some differences and I want to just talk about how they compare. Welcome to my video and channel. If you are new to my channel, consider subscribing for more help on understanding other singers and of course your own voice. I want to dive right into Adele's performance. Let's kind of go back and forth between the 2011 version and the 2020 version, and I'll talk about why I think those differences are there. Let's just kind of just get on a baseline of what the differences are.
Settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now.
Okay, let's look at the first phrases there. Okay, I think first of all, she did have a little I heard in the 2011, but in this 2020, she has this a lot stronger. And I'll get to why that is. She does that a few more times.
That you settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now.
I find her onsets here in this latest version, like it sounds it's harder to get the onsets, to get the vocal cords to vibrate. It just seems like it's not as easygoing. She does need to just have a little bit of a stronger attack to get the tone going. Okay, let's go back. 2011.
I heard that your dreams came true.
Okay, she kind of goes, when she does that a lot, when your dreams came true, kind of in a mix, very light, not too pushy.
Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you.
So she's not pushing too much, very much kind of a looser vocal cord closure, voice color. Now let's look at 2020. More chest voice here. That your dreams. I feel a little stronger.
Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you.
Okay, still, I mean, very nice. Back here.
Old friend.
Okay, she's a little sharp here, but fly.
Why so shy? It ain't like you to hold back.
Okay, let's look at that. Very nice connection, I think, between pitches. Nice phrasing. It seems pretty easy. The vocal cords are just effortlessly vibrating. She's always had this slight breathy color, and I'm going to talk about, you know, why I think this could have caused some problems later on for her. Let's look at this phrase at the later 2020 version. I feel she has to be in fuller chest voice when she goes higher much sooner. So here's the progression normally. When you're a little bit lower, you don't have to push as hard. You don't have to have that much of a tight vocal cord closure. And when you go higher, see, the more you kind of push a little bit, the more safe the pitch comes out. Right? So when you don't have enough compression or enough pressure, then this might happen. And then the pitch doesn't come out. So in this 2020 version, I feel that there's a lot of moments when she already knows it's better to actually be stronger, to engage the muscles more, because there might be the chance of like the pitch not coming out right. I just feel she's more chesty and she engages the thyroid muscles more. Okay, back to the next phrase, 2011.
I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over.
Sounds pretty effortless for me, like it's a part of her voice that's like no big deal. She's just very easily flowing along. Now let's look at this phrase at the 2020.
I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face, that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over.
Okay, sounds really nice. Doesn't sound like she's pushing or anything. I just still feel it's a little bit more chesty, just a little bit more engaged here. Okay, now comes the higher part. Okay, 2011.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually surprised I didn't look at this version before. She actually doesn't go up. Let's look at the 2020. On the recording, she actually, don't forget me, I said. She actually goes high, but let's look at this one.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too.
Okay, you too. She already goes into head mix there.
Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember
Did you hear on the I'll remember? There was a little huh.
you said. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah.
I feel that it is a little bit more, you know, of course, high chest voice is always very much to be compared with controlled shouting. And I feel like the 2020 version is a little bit more on the shouty side. Like I said, she has to engage, she has to push a little bit harder to get the top. And I feel this is very, very typical for either being vocally fatigued or having had any kind of vocal damage, that there is more breathiness in the vocal cords. You just need more compression and more air pressure in order to make the vibration happen. It's almost like, you know, when there have been nodules, it's almost like there's a little callus on the vocal cords. It's like muscles when they're tense and tight, they don't stretch as easily. They're not as malleable. And so that's what I feel in 2020. That's what has changed. She's still the same amazing vocalist. And I think, you know, her having lost weight or anything, that has nothing to do with the voice per se. I think really the singing a lot in concerts over the years and really doing a lot already in young years, that can, and of course it has for her, led to some really bad vocal damage. And she's had surgery, I think more than once. That really definitely, it's not like there's nothing. It's like there's scars, right? There's some kind of scars. And although she still knows how to sing like she always did, and she has really good control over her voice, sometimes it's the fine tuning, the lightness just doesn't quite come as easily anymore, just because it's like, it's tense and it's tighter. And you have to work a little harder to get the tenseness. I have sung many times, I mean, over the years, when you're a professional singer who makes a full-time living from just singing concerts all the time and doing gigs, There will always be times when you have to sing where you're not quite healthy and maybe you have a cold, you're just getting over a cold, you're just getting a cold, you're middle of a cold. I've had to sing many times, and those are the times when, you know, you have to push extra hard, you have to support extra much, and you have to like just do a little bit more and be a little more shouty for the pitches to come out, because you can't really do those decrescendo and be piano like you have to go then and also the registers, that laryngeal tilt, it's not quite as smooth. It's like even the registers, just because the vocal cord closure, you can't really fine-tune it as easily when there's some level of tenseness, tightness, damage, whatever it is. Okay, let's listen just a little bit more here.
The time of our lives, we were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by the surprise of our glory day.
I feel she has like a lot of silvery brilliance in her timbre, in her tone now, and it doesn't feel like she has to push here.
Hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over yet.
Well, on that over, that wasn't quite clean. She had a little moment of having, you know, but that is totally part of expression. Now let's see.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best.
Clear tone.
Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah, nothing compares, no.
Let's actually look at this other version one more time.
You know how the time flies on me. Yesterday.
You can see when she does the onsets, especially on the yesterday, there was some fry, which wasn't intentionally, I think. You can just hear it's rough. It's almost like she's a little bit hoarse, and that comes from the vocal damage that, you know, she had to deal with in the past.
It was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in the summer haze, bound by the surprise of our glory day.
I feel like she has to darken her voice just a tiny bit more here in this 2020 version. It does sound just a little lighter and brighter before.
I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it. I hope to see my face, that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over yet.
Also, you can hear that onset of over. Just if she doesn't use too much of a h on those glottal sounds, then it easily shifts into a moment of vocal fry for her.
I can hear you already. Ready?
And then she lets her audience sing, which that does alleviate the voice a little bit too. Oh, and they all sing the high pitch, which she didn't sing actually in either version, but it's on the album that way. She needs to rest her voice here.
Nothing compares, no worries again, regrets and mistakes that memories made. Who would have known how bittersweet this would taste? The best so far. You ready to do it for me again?
She lets her audience sing again because, you know, she is smart. She tries to not push too much. Of course, when you're doing more than one song and a concert, you have to be careful. And she has to be really careful these days because she's had to deal with a lot. You know, when it comes to her vocal cords, she's had all these problems. Let's look back at her 2011 version.
Worries or cares, regrets and mistakes, their memories made. Who would have
Nice
known
breath.
how bittersweet this would take?
It just sounds more effortless, I think.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you.
Sharp a little.
Don't forget me, I beg. I'll
She's a lot more expressive here.
Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead.
You know, this is just my experience right here. She always sang with quite a lot of force, and I feel that, you know, of course, when you don't do this a lot, it's not gonna damage anything, but of course, every human being is different, and, you know, one person might be a little bit more sensitive when it comes to vocal cords or injury and recover quickly or not less or more or less quickly. And the next person, they may be able to sing for years and do all these things to their vocal cords and just, you know, just strain and strain and strain. And by straining, I don't mean that someone has a bad technique. What I just mean is doing a lot. It's like an athlete, right? Some athletes, their bodies will just not perform well anymore unless they take more rest, and everyone's different there. And I feel Adele has always had this tendency, and this is what I watched in her very early albums. She didn't sing that high. She's actually more of an alto vocal type. Her voice color is a little bit darker. She doesn't sit that high naturally. And I feel that in some of her later songs, I mean, it just was this progression of getting higher and a little higher again. And she always tried to flip into falsetto or head voice when she actually went over a certain point. Like anything that was above, she didn't really usually go above C5 and still stay in full chest voice, which, you know, it's very consistent with being an alto. Your voice just sits lower altogether. And I feel that you don't have to have a huge, gigantic vocal range to be an amazing singer. And Adele is truly an amazing performer, artist, songwriter, singer. She has all these awesome things about her that musically just make it amazing. I just want to point out that she just did a lot of vocal straining kind of singing and she did a lot of it, and I think it really caused a lot of problems for her. And of course, you know, as a performer, it's, you know, of course it's about money, but then it's also about talking to your producer and your label, and, you know, like there is a business behind it. It's a business. It's not just fun. But then there's also, as an artist, you're passionate, and it's almost like an addiction, really, being on stage and having your audience and getting applause and getting the feedback and interacting and then writing more songs and going on tours. It can be so addictive. It's like when you take that away from an artist, it's almost like this huge hole that you fall into, and it's almost like it feels so bad not to have this thing that you're working toward, like a tour, an album, something, you're performing. When you're a true performer, you need that. You need to be out there. It's like, it's a part of your life. And I feel that, you know, because she's such an artist, she did so much that she really did a lot to her vocal cords. And probably if she had taken more breaks, she wouldn't have had a lot of the vocal problems. Maybe doing a few things differently and having someone coach her maybe to still do the things the way she does them, sounding exactly the same, but maybe supporting differently and just tweaking a few things about the technique so that you take more of the weight off the vocal cords, could have benefited her. And I'm such a fan of Adele. I love her voice color. I love her songs. I love her lyrics. I love her as a songwriter, as a singer, as a performer, as a musician. You know, but I feel so bad for her because I love her so much, and I'm sad when I see singers who get vocal damage and then have to take breaks, and then they're out of the game for a while. And then, you know, when someone has these reoccurring problems, that is just so sad. It breaks my heart because I know how horrible it is as a singer when you can't sing. It's like they amputated your legs or your arms. Something is missing in your life, and it's like a need when you can't sing. I mean, if you've ever had a cold as a singer, it's the worst. When you lose your voice, it's like, who am I, right? So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about the progression of Adele's voice? Can you hear that even early on that she was doing some straining things to her voice? What do you think? I feel that the way she sang caused a lot of problems, and I really hope for her that she finds someone to, I know she has people in her life that she can really make it better. You can't really reverse damage, but you can work with it to where you do it in a smart way. And the smart way for her to do now is not to try to belt out high and over sing, but to just listen to her body and to her vocal cords and just to do what she feels until that point where she feels like, now I'm feeling strained and now I'm just taking it easy. I've had many gigs where I had to just take it back a notch and was like, okay, not just blasting out anymore, because it's not good. I need my voice for the rest of my life, and I still need to be able to sing until I'm really old, right? Have a wonderful day. If you want to get deeper and dive deep into more vocal technique, check out my website at masteryourvoice.tv. I have a 5-day belting challenge that is for free, that I run live every once in a while. So if you're on my email list and if you have gone to any of my courses that are free, you get a notification when I run the free challenges, the live challenges. We have a Facebook group where I give feedback then. And I also have just a Facebook group that is open to everyone who wants to get into there. There's about 3,700 people in there. You can find it on Facebook at Master Your Voice with Freya, and I'd love to see you there. Have a most wonderful day. Until next time, always keep a song in your heart and always keep on singing.
I must be strong.